All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Budget session of Parliament ends today. Key bills including Central Universities Amendment Bill 2018 and Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 to be taken up for consideration and passing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address CREDAI YouthCon 19 at Talkatora Stadium in New Delhi. Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora says most political parties have reposed their faith in EVMs. Defence Ministry begins process of procurement of 111 Naval Helicopters. 2 Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces at Budgam in Jammu and Kashmir this morning. And in women's football, India to face Myanmar in their final round-robin match of Gold Cup tournament in Bhubaneswar this evening. The budget session of Parliament, which began on 31st of January, will come to an end today. Our correspondent reports that this is the last session of the Parliament before the general elections.
Today being the last day of both houses of Parliament before the general elections, the government will try to get approval from the House on key pending bills. The Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 and the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2018 is scheduled to be taken up in the Rajya Sabha. Both bills, which were introduced in the Lok Sabha, if not passed in the Rajya Sabha before dissolution of the lower house, will get lapsed. In the Lok Sabha, the Banning of Unregulated Deposit Schemes Bill 2018 and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Amendment Bill 2019 are scheduled to be taken up for discussion and passage. Unpermished, AR News, Delhi.
Yesterday, the Lok Sabha passed the Finance Bill 2019 by a voice vote. Replying to the discussion on the bill, Finance Minister Piyush Goyal asserted that all the proposals in the bill are aimed at benefiting the middle classes and honest taxpayers. However, the Congress staged a walkout in the lower house over the Rafale deal, while the Rajya Sabha faced adjournment following an uproar by Samajwadi Party members after party chief Akhilesh Yadav was allegedly stopped at Lucknow airport while on his way to Allahabad University. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the CREDAI YouthCon 19 at Talkatora Stadium in New Delhi today. The theme for this YouthCon is Next Generation. He will also visit the exhibition organized by Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India, CREDAI. An official release said the annual conference will bring together the next generation of real estate builders and developers to enlighten their young minds and share their thinking and approach. Established in 1999, CREDAI is the apex body representing real estate developers from over 200 cities in the country. Chief Election Commissioner CEC Sunil Arora has said despite most political parties having reposed their faith in electronic voting machines, some sections made it part of a motivated slugfest. The CEC, who reviewed the preparedness for ensuing Lok Sabha elections in Andhra Pradesh along with Election Commissioner Ashok Lavasa and other top officials, was briefing the media in Amravati last evening. The CEC said there is a difference between tampering and malfunctioning of EVMs and asserted that not a single case of tampering had been established so far. On the question of demand by various parties for counting of VVPAT slips, Mr. Arora said the group of experts from the Indian Statistical Organization and National Sample Survey Organization would submit their report soon on the possibility of counting VVPATs. The Reserve Bank has imposed monetary penalty of 2 million rupees each on HDFC Bank, IDBI Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank for non-compliance of various Know Your Customer anti-money laundering norms. In a statement issued from Mumbai yesterday, the RBI informed that it has imposed monetary penalty of 1.5 crore rupees each on Allahabad Bank, Bank of Maharashtra and Indian Overseas Bank for non-compliance of norms related to use of funds, exchange of information, classification and reporting of frauds and on restructuring of accounts. A penalty of 1 crore rupees was imposed on Andhra Bank for the same reason. The central bank clarified that the action is purely based on deficiencies in regulatory compliance and is not intended to pronounce upon the validity of any transaction by the banks with their customers. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The Defence Ministry has issued expression of interest to shortlist potential Indian strategic partners and foreign original equipment manufacturers for the procurement of 111 naval utility helicopters. An official statement said yesterday 95 helicopters out of the 111 will be manufactured in India by the selected Indian strategic partner. A report.
The multi-billion-dollar proposal was approved by the Defence Acquisition Council in August last year. These choppers will replace the Chetak model and will be utilized for search, rescue and evacuation of casualties by air and torpedo drops. The project is likely to provide major boost to the government's Make in India initiative and fillip to the manufacturing capability for helicopters in the country, as 95 out of 111 helicopters will be manufactured in India. The original equipment manufacturers have been mandated to set up dedicated manufacturing line, including design, integration and manufacturing processes for NUS in India. Tripti Srivastav, News Desk.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 LET terrorists were killed in a gunfight with the security forces in Vathura, Chittargam, Naugam area in Budgam district this morning. Security sources said that a joint team of security forces launched cordon and search operation following specific input about presence of terrorists in the area. They said as the forces zeroed in on the suspected spot, the hiding terrorists fired upon forces, triggering an encounter. Talking to AIR, DG Police Dilbag Singh said 2 terrorists were killed during the encounter.
2 मिलिटेंट लश्कर तौबा के मारे गए हैं। अभी तक की इत्तला के मुताबिक दोनों ही मिलिटेंट जो हैं वो लोकल लगते हैं और ऑपरेशन अभी खत्म हो गया है। वहां पर बरामदगी में जो इनके वेपन रहते हैं AK-47 राइफल्स और उसके साथ काफी बड़ी तादाद में जो एडिशन रहता है वो पकड़ा गया।
The government has said the number of ceasefire violations or cross-border firings in Jammu and Kashmir more than doubled in 2018 compared to the previous year. This was informed by the Minister of State for Home, Hans Ram G. Ahir, in a written reply to Lok Sabha. The minister said the casualties the BSF suffered in terms of death of its jawans in these incidents increased by 3 times. Robert Vadra will appear before the Enforcement Directorate, ED, for the second consecutive day in Jaipur today. The agency will resume questioning Vadra, husband of Congress General Secretary Priyanka Vadra, at 10:30 this morning. More from our correspondent.
Vadra is questioned about his alleged involvement in controversial land purchases in Bikaner district and his company Skylight Hospitality role. The company had purchased 69.55 hectares of land for rupees 72 lakh and later sold it to another firm for rupees 5.15 crore. Vadra has asked by Rajasthan High Court to cooperate with the agency. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
The CBI will continue quizzing Kolkata Police Commissioner Rajiv Kumar for the 5th consecutive day today in connection with the Sarda Chit Fund scam case. He had led the Special Investigating Team, SIT, formed by the West Bengal government to probe the Sarda scam before it was handed over to the CBI by the Apex Court. The CBI has alleged that Kumar tampered the crucial evidence in the case while heading the SIT. BJP President Amit Shah will visit Kumbh in Prayagraj today. Mr. Shah will meet various saints and seers during a day-long visit. Meanwhile, departure of akhadas from Kumbh has already begun. The next main bathing in Kumbh will be on the 19th of February on the occasion of Maghi Purnima. Our correspondent has more.
Religious leaders of the akhadas will leave the Kumbh after a traditional community feast with office bearers of Akhada Parishad and Mahamandaleshwar of different akhadas. While exhibition organized by different departments of union and state governments will continue. Kumbh will finally culminate with the bathing of last festival of Mahashivratri on March 4th. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Kumbh Nagari, Prayagraj.
The Afghan government has fired its Election Commission. The move by President Ashraf Ghani's administration comes more than 3 months after the chaotic parliamentary elections and ahead of July's controversial presidential vote. the results of parliamentary elections is still pending. Mr. Ghani gave political parties and civil society representatives 1 week to nominate candidates to a new commission. Today is World Radio Day. The day is observed every year on the 13th of February to celebrate radio as a forum for information and entertainment, as a bridge of communication for remote communities and its role in empowering people. The theme of this year's World Radio Day is Dialogue, Tolerance and Peace. The day was proclaimed on 3rd of November 2011 by UNESCO's 36th General Conference. In women's football, India will play Myanmar in their final round-robin game of Gold Cup tournament at the Kaling Stadium in Bhubaneswar today. The match will kick off at 7 in the evening. In another encounter, Iran will face Nepal at 4 p.m. Earlier, the hosts lost to Nepal 1-2 in their second round-robin match on Monday. The final clash is scheduled on Friday. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Tanvi Taneja.
Thank you, Anuja. The lead story in almost all the newspapers is the Karol Bagh hotel blaze, which killed 17 people and injured over a dozen. Some charred to death, others asphyxiated. Woman, child take miscalculated plunge to death, reports the Pioneer. The Statesman writes, hotel violated building rules, fire safety norms. Budget session of Parliament ends today. Citizenship and Triple Talaq Bill will lapse if no Rajya Sabha not today, writes the Indian Express. The Asian Age headlines, Modi vows to step up war against the corrupt. The Hindustan Times reports, around 100 oil and gas fields could go up for private auction. The newspapers have also reported on the former CBI interim director being held guilty of contempt by the Supreme Court. Pay rupees 1 lakh, go sit in corner, Supreme Court punishes CBI's Rao for contempt, writes the Tribune. Under the headline, desperate Indian Air Force may buy 21 mothballed MiG-29s from Russia. The Times of India reports of the Indian Air Force looking to acquire 21 MiG-29 jets lying in an unassembled condition with Russia since the late 1980s. To boost ranking, IIT Delhi will charge the same fee from foreign and Indian students, writes the Indian Express, for the foreign students doing their PhDs from the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. The Times of India headlines, CBSE 10th, 12th exams set to be easier this time. The Daily reports, quoting CBSE Secretary Anurag Tripathi as saying that they were working towards encrypted papers. And finally, muffins, donuts for breakfast and 5-star dinner on Train 18, writes the Hindustan Times, about a piping hot lunch that would stay warm till it is served in the to-be-launched Vande Bharat Express, tickling the taste buds of passengers. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Tanvi. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Budget session of Parliament ends today. Key bills including Central Universities Amendment Bill 2018 and Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 to be taken up for consideration and passing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address CREDAI YouthCon 19 at Talkatora Stadium in New Delhi. Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora says most political parties have reposed their faith in EVMs. Defence Ministry begins process of procurement of 111 Naval Helicopters. 2 Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces at Budgam in Jammu and Kashmir this morning. And in women's football, India to face Myanmar in the final round-robin match of Gold Cup tournament in Bhubaneswar this evening. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.